Good morning, children. Good morning to this new academic year 2020-21. Hearty welcome to class 7 to all the children by SPA. Okay, so we know that this present situation, according to the present situation, we are going to start this NTAP video classes. You know about this current situation around in and around outside, and different teachers will be giving this video sessions according to daily basis and according to the timetable. Okay, and hope you have completed your the works which are already given by the teachers in last year, and you might have enjoyed the vacation as well as you might have had a very good time during past 2 months. Also, you might have utilized it very creatively. So we have to continue our classes based on the new academic syllabus, and your textbooks and notebooks you will be receiving it very soon by the mid of this June. But don't worry, you can use your previous year's notebooks and any notebooks you can write for different subjects. At the same time, we will be giving very base of the total subjects. That means if you are learning about mathematics, English or any subjects, we will be giving only the basics, and slowly we will go into the portion. Okay, so children, are you ready to go to the bio class? We have to start with the bio class. Okay, so last year you studied about, in class 6, you might have all studied about the structure of cell. Yes or no? Structure of cell and the components of the cell and the different organelles which are present inside the cell. So you have to just take your attention or make your attention to the board. So we are going to learn about cell. So what is a cell? Cell is the structure and functional unit of every living organism. Cell is the structural and functional unit of every living organism. So it is, for example, if a house or if any building is made, there will be bricks. It is a non-living thing. So many bricks are arranged together to make up a house or a wall or anything. So the same way, an organism is made up of repeated number of cells. Okay, so last year you might have, this is just a review. Last year you have studied. So the cell is the structural and functional unit of each and every organism. Structural and functional. And it is, the structure of the cell means you studied about the two different type of cells are there. That means plants are made up of plant cells, animals are made up of animal cell. And hope you might have already learned about the difference between plant cell and animal cell. Okay, so plant cell have a cell wall which is made up of cellulose. Inside the cell wall there is a cell membrane, and there is a vacuole, there is a nucleus and chloroplast, so many other organelles you can see. Okay, but in the case of animal cell do not have a cell wall. It has a nucleus in the center, it has so many cell organelles are there. What are the different cell organelles? There will be mitochondria. Are you remembering? Mitochondria, then ribosomes, then endoplasmic reticulum, then lysosomes are there, then again there will be so many the structures, or there are so many other structures known to be known as, there are so many fluid like jelly like substance known as cytoplasm. Okay, so the animal cell and plant cells are, there are difference between plant cells and animal cells are there. Now this year, that is the previous year, you learned about cell. This year you have to learn about which one? You have to learn about tissues. Okay, tissues means what? A group of similar cells performing a common function is known as tissue. Okay, so last year, how many of you are remembering about the cells? I don't know. That means the cell is a structural and functional unit of this organism. So many cells together perform a particular function is known as tissue. Okay. So we have to learn, that means the cells are of different types. Okay. Cells are of different types are there. There will be unicellular. What is meant by unicellular? Unicellular means which are composed of only one cell. Unicellular means one cell. And there will be multicellular. What is meant by multicellular? Multicellular means which are made up of many cells. So the cells are of many types are there. The organisms which are composed of only one cell is known as unicellular organism. And when they are composed of many cells are known as multicellular organisms. Okay. So the content of the cell, that means suppose you know about the content of the cell. The cell contains, each and every cell contains a nucleus. Nucleus means what? The center portion contains the nucleus. And last year you might have studied about nucleus is the control center of the cell. So this is known to be known as nucleus. So nucleus is known to be known as the control center of the cell. So surrounding the nucleus there is cytoplasm. So inside the cytoplasm there will be so many organelles are present there. So the nucleus and the cytoplasm together known as protoplasm. Okay, the nucleus and cytoplasm together known as protoplasm. That is a new word for you. What is meant by protoplasm? Okay, so the nucleus and the cytoplasm together known as protoplasm. And the protoplasm is the living content of the cell. Protoplasm is known as the living content of the cell. Now, so many similar cells together form tissues. Okay, so many similar cells together which perform a common function is known as tissue. So tissues are group of similar cells. Suppose there are epithelial tissue, then there are muscular tissue, cardiac tissue, so many are there. Okay, so like so many tissues are there. So these tissues, when they join together or when they function together to form what? An organ. So these tissues, when they join together to form what? An organ. And later these organ, so many organs, that means whether it is a respiratory organs are there. Which is our respiratory organ? Lungs. So like that, so many organs combine together to form a system that is known as a respiratory system. Understood? So many cells of similar type performing a common function forms the tissues, and the tissues of similar type, when they join together to form what? An organ, and when these organ together function forms what? An organism. That is why finally an organism is formed. So the next is about the levels of classification or the levels of organization. Okay, so the levels of organization, when we arrange it, it will be starting with the cells. That means when we arrange in a flow chart format, it will be like this way. That means cells will be in the lowermost level because all organisms are made up of cells. Then from there, what is the next level? The next level is known as tissue. Okay, the next level is known as tissue. Then what is the next level? Organs. That means the organs after so many tissues join together to form organs. What is the next one? Organ system. So organ system is the next one. And finally an organism is formed. Whether it can be a plant organism or animal organism, a unicellular organism or multicellular organism, an organism is formed. Okay, that is about the levels of classification. if you want to highlight it or if you want to show it as a flowchart manner, you can arrange like this way. So very neatly, very beautifully you have to arrange like this. Okay, that is the tiny microscopic units which are not able to see with our eyes. Can we see cells with our eyes? No. But we can see cell with our eyes. For example, the egg. Egg is a cell that we can see. Yes or no? Yes. So, and which is known to be the biggest biggest cell, that is known to be known as ostrich egg is known to be known as the biggest cell. Okay. So, egg is a single cell. At the same time, you can see, that means the cells which are performing the common function, they form which one? The tissue. So many tissues are there. You might have heard about tissue culture. Yes or no? Tissue culture. So then so many tissues join together to form organ. That means organs are there. Different organs in our body are there. Heart is an organ. Kidney is an organ. Then lungs is an organ. So many organs are there in our body. Then finally it forms a system. That means circulatory system, endocrine system, nervous system. So many things are there. So many organ systems are there. Then finally, after arranging all these organ systems in a definite manner, an organism is formed. Okay. And you know about the cells are having different sizes and shapes. Last year in class 6 you might have learned about the size and shape of the cell. So which is the longest cell? Nerve cell. In human body, nerve cell is the longest cell. And you know about do you remember the size, the structure of the nerve cell? There is a nucleus there, and there is so many dendrites are there. I don't know whether you remember it or not, but there is a longest cell is known as the nerve cell, and which has so many dendrites, and the longest dendrite is known as axon. And so again, so this is the longest, what is the function of the nerve cell? To carry impulses or to carry messages. So that is about the nerve cell. So this is a nerve cell. Again, the smallest cell in our body, that means the blood platelet. Okay, the smallest cell is known to be the blood platelet, and you know about, you already studied in last year, circulatory system. Remember, circulatory system consists of RBC, WBC and blood platelet. And RBC does not contain which one? A nucleus. But still it is known to be known as a cell. RBC means what? Red blood cell. Okay, so the red blood cell, it is also known to be a cell, but it does not have any nucleus. So many things you studied about cell last year. And just as a review we are going to do, I just wanted to know what is the function of different organelles in the cell. Do you remember? Nucleus is the control. Just as a review about the last year, just nucleus is the control center. And endoplasmic reticulum, the function is transportation of materials. Endoplasmic reticulum. Then again lysosomes are there. So many lysosomes are there. Then mitochondria is there. Mitochondria, do you remember mitochondria? What is the function? It is the energy supplier of the cell. Then again ribosomes are there. Ribosomes are there. Many ribosomes are there helping in different function. Then vacuoles are there. So many vacuoles are there. So there are lot of cell organelles which are seen, which are present inside the cell, and all these cells performing a common function forms a tissue, and then to organs, organ system, and then to an organism. Okay, so this is about the arrangement or the level of level of this organization. So what will we say this one? Level of organization. So when you are writing in the notebook, you have to take a fresh page. Suppose you might have the last year's any of the notebooks which we have not, you have not used it, you have not used that you can use for writing as the notes. So whatever the videos are with you, so what you have to do, you have to see the videos again and again, and you have to write whatever I have written it on the board. Is it clear now? You can see all these things which are written over the board. So you can copy these things into the notes. Once you get to a fair notebook, you can copy all these things into the notebook. Okay. So the next is about, so we can continue the topic, and the definition for tissue also I will write it on the board, because you will be able to understand definition for, suppose a question is asked, define a tissue. By this time I hope it is clear to you what is a tissue. A tissue means a group of similar cells performing a common function. Okay, so that is known to be known as tissue. So shall I write it on the board? Define tissue. So what is meant by tissue? A group of cells similar in structure and perform a common function. That is known as tissue. Okay, so you have to write down it into your notebook. Now, let us go into the next topic. The next is about the kinds of tissue. Okay, the next is about the different kinds of tissue. So, different kinds of tissue you have to learn separately in the case of plants and in the case of animals. So what is that we have to learn? So the first one we are going to learn about plant tissue. So plant tissues we are going to learn about. The first one, the topic is kinds of tissue. So you have to write the title, kinds of tissue. And you have to underline kinds of tissue. And we have to learn about in the case of plant tissue. So we know we have already studied plants are made up of plant tissue, animals are made up of animal tissue. So how are still the plant tissues are classified? That we have to learn. So we will be learning about plant tissue. Okay, so plant tissues are classified into meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. Okay, plant tissues are classified into meristematic tissues So there are two different types of tissues are there, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues in the case of plant group. Can we go on to the next one? What is meant by meristematic tissues? Okay, meristematic tissues are, when we just sow seeds, or when we just plant some seedlings into the ground, we can see that some of the plants, after getting water, air, temperature, everything, they will start growing. For example, during rainy season, you can see so many plants are growing so much faster. So what is the reason? They are getting water from outside, they are getting a low temperature, and at the same time they are getting the air, every requirements they are getting. So they are able to grow fast. So the next we will go into meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissues are tissues which are mainly present at the tip of the root and the tip of the shoot. Okay, so meristematic tissues are, they are actively dividing cells. Actively dividing cells which are located at the tip of the shoot and root. So we will just go see how the meristematic, just imagine if a small plant or a small seed, any plant seedling is planted in the soil, the shoot system, you know what is shoot system, which will be below the surface of the soil, just below the soil, and the root, the branches will be there. There will be so many branches on the root tip. The shoot tip is this one. So this is known as the shoot tip, and this is the root tip. So the meristematic tissues which are mainly present at this tip, the tipmost or the topmost portion, this region. Okay, so this is known as the shoot tip and this is known as the root tip. So these regions, they are very actively dividing cells. Like some children, they are very active in the class. They will be very much attentive in the class. So the same way, meristematic tissues are very much actively dividing. They will be located at the shoot tip and the root tip. But there are some characteristic feature for this meristematic tissues. The tissues are having some, they are not like the normal cells or the meristematic cells are, so many cells are forming the tissues, right? So many cells are forming the tissues, but the cells are having some characteristic feature other than the permanent or the normal cells. What are the characteristic feature? So we can see there will be, the cell will be smaller in size. Okay, the cell will be smaller in size compared to that of the normal cell. The cell wall will be very thinner. Cell wall is, you are learning about plant tissues. So the cell wall is very much thinner. Thinner means what? It is not very much thicker compared to the normal cells. The cell wall will be very much thinner. And the cells are small, cell walls are thin, and the nuclei is large and conspicuous. So the nucleus can be very much large. Why the nucleus is large and conspicuous? Because the nucleus is helping in cell division. Nucleus is helping in cell division. So again the cells are without any vacuoles. You know, you might have studied in plant cell. Most of the space is occupied by vacuoles. But here the vacuoles are totally or they are not at all present, and the majority of the space is occupied by nucleus. Do you remember, I think you are all familiar with this fact that in the case of plant cell, nucleus will be always in the periphery. So this will be the nucleus, and the vacuole is where? Vacuole is here. The large space is occupied by what? Vacuole. But in the case of this meristematic cells or meristematic tissues, the cell wall is very thin and the nucleus occupies the large space, and at the same time vacuoles are almost or completely absent. Then normally they will be dividing and they will be forming what? They will be forming the new branches and new shoots and roots are, that means extension of roots and shoots are produced from here, and again the root tips also will be growing, and finally the plant will be slowly increasing its diameter. So that is how meristematic tissues are helping in the growth of the plant. So ultimately, what is the benefit of meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissues are helping in the growth in lengthwise, growth in widthwise, as well as it will help the plant to increase the large surface area of this root system. Okay, so that is the function of which one? Meristematic tissue. So we are learning about which topic? We are learning about the types of tissues in plants. Types of tissues in plants are two types. The one is known as the meristematic tissue, another one is known as the permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue, suppose a question is asked, what is meant by meristematic tissue? So we can very well say that meristematic tissues are actively dividing cells. They are located at the shoot tip and root tip in plants. Okay, then another question can be asked. What are the characteristic features of meristematic tissue? What are the characteristic features? First characteristic feature is that the cells are small. The cells are small in size. The nucleus is very big nucleus can be seen, and the cell wall is very thin. Thin cell wall will be there. There is the absence of vacuoles can be seen. At the same time, they are very much actively dividing cells. Okay, so here in this meristematic tissue, there can be asked 3 important questions can be asked. What are the important questions? What are meristematic tissues? Okay. Second question, what are the characteristic features of meristematic tissue? Third question, state the location and function of meristematic tissue. Okay, so 3 questions there is a possibility of 3 questions are there from meristematic tissue. This is clear? Okay, I will write the questions and answer on the board. You have to copy it. Okay, so just write it down. First one, hope you have copied this one. Plant tissues are classified into meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. Okay, next one we will write about the location and function of meristematic tissue, or what are meristematic tissue. So what will be the answer? Meristematic tissues are actively dividing cells located at the shoot tip that helps in the growth of the plant body. Meristematic tissues are actively dividing cells and they help in the growth of plant body. Okay, so the second question, first question also you have written about the which one? Tissues, define tissue. Second question, what are meristematic tissues? Now, third question you can write. What is that? State the location and function of meristematic tissue. So you can write, make 3 columns you have to use. Meristematic tissue, here location. Next one, function. So location, function, located at the tip of the shoot and root. Located at the tip of shoot and root in plants. Function, they helps in the growth of shoot, root of plant. Helps in the growth of shoot and roots in plants, not of. That is about the location and function of which one? meristematic tissue. Now the third question you have to write, fourth question. What are the characteristic features of meristematic tissue? So the first characteristic feature we will write. What is the character? You already know it. The cells are very small. The cells are thin or small. Cells are very thin and or it can be small. Next one, what is the next one? It has large nuclei. Presence of large nucleus. Presence of large nucleus. Okay. Then the third one, what is the third point? The vacuoles are absent, almost absent. Vacuoles are almost absent and they are actively dividing cells. So these are the four important characteristic features of which one? Meristematic tissue. Is it clear to you? Is it clear? Hope it will be clear after writing this into your notebook, and after listening this video it will be definitely clear to you. Now you can understand by doing an experiment in your home. How can we do that? I think in class 5 or 6 you might have done one project based on the seeds and how the seeds are grow, or this grams, that means some green grams you might have grown, or you might have done one experiment project based on the seeds growth and all. That means you are keeping the soft seeds in some cotton or in some soil, and after keeping it overnight, what will happen? We can see the growth of the small roots and the radicle and the growth of the plumule growing to upper side. That is also because of the presence of, or because of the actively dividing cells which are present at this region. Cotyledons are there. Cotyledons help, and in between the cotyledons there will be radicals and plumule is there that help in the growth of this. There is an experiment also mentioned regarding the growth of this. So this is about the meristematic tissue. Hope it is clear to you.